At the deck store today, we're looking at the Xone DB2, which is a 4-channel mixer from Allen & Heath. The DB2 mixer is the more affordable younger brother of the Xone DB4, but it's still full of the most important features. The main difference between them is the way users access the onboard effects. The DB4 has a bank for each of its 4 channels. The DB2 only has 2, which are reached via a menu system, which we'll go into in a little bit. The top left here we have the typical mic inputs, which you can see it uses an XLR input, but also allows line in too. There is then the controls for this with the Q buttons to cue it in, and the whole unit itself is made out of aluminium, giving it a light but solid feel, and all the knobs are rubberized, and all the metal switches are made of high quality metal. You'll see these little metal switches, which we'll talk about shortly. They are well made and durable, but they are pretty small and a bit fiddly to use. Below this all is the headphone socket and related controls. And then if we look at the crossfader, there's a nice smooth action, so there's no complaints there. And the long faders there work just as well. Above all of this is your typical 3-band EQ. And the most interesting bit of this mixer is that at the top of each channel is the selector, so you can select each channel for any input. For example, if you want to have input 1 on channel 4, or input 1 on all 4 channels, then you can do so. So you can switch between analog, digital or USB for your inputs as well. So you've got a huge range of control there just for your inputs. It all sounds a little bit mad, but it actually works really well when combined with the FX unit. The little metal switches underneath each channel control where each channel goes to the FX unit. So there's an X side on the FX unit and a Y side. So you can have one input using both sides, using up to 2 channels, or you can have different inputs using different sides. As for the effects themselves, boasting a massive FX library of more than 50 effects presets, divided into 5 FX types in total, you have delay, reverb, modulation, resonator and damage. Both banks have a filter at the bottom, and as for the effects themselves, boasting a massive FX library of more than 50 effects presets divided into 5 FX types in total, you have delay, reverb, modulation, resonator and damage. Both banks have a filter at their output, plus a knob for wet dry level and expression. The extra bright and clear OLED display above this indicates which effects are selected and the current BPM as well. You really do have full control over your effects that are used for each channel, and being able to have 2 channels sharing the same input but having different effects applied will allow you to create some amazing effects in your mixes. On the back of the unit is 4 analog inputs, 2 digital ins, record out, X-Link, USB, XLR out, RCA record out and balance booth outputs. One thing Allen & Heath always do well at is their effects section, and this is no different. While the mixer itself is pretty standard, but still of a high quality, it's the customization of the inputs and the effects unit that really put this mixer above the competition. Don't forget to check out hotdjgear.com where you find the latest news, reviews and DJ shirts on sale.